So I understand that there's a 5-phase program in the Safe Home.
We have a 5-phase program. So we start out pretty simple. We give them some time to just adjust.
Mm-hmm.
We teach them how to journal so that they can work through some of their issues. They get their own therapist and have those individual appointments. We're not a therapy place. We're a place where we coach them in everyday living and
Mm-hmm.
give them space to heal
Mm-hmm.
and to learn.
And so, how long would a woman stay at the Safe Home?
Well, our 5 phases, we're a longer term program. It usually takes 12 to 18 months to get all the way through our five
Mm-hmm.
phases.
And so, why is the difference between 12 and 18 months? What?
Um, Depends on where they come from, what
Mm-hmm.
they need, what encouragement that they need, what kind of healing they need, what kind of mental health situation that they're in, maybe how far they've gotten in their education.
Mm-hmm.
We try to get them to the point before they leave that they actually have a job and are able to manage an apartment and their own lives before they ever leave us. And some girls are farther away from that than others.
Mm-hmm. So we're in the process of reopening the safe house.
Correct.
And so what is our biggest need right now?
Our biggest need is staff.
Mm-hmm.
We are close to having enough staff of women who believe that Jesus is really the reason, and that belief in Jesus and what he teaches us is the only way to truly change our lives. And understanding how much he loves us fills the hole that most of our women and most of all of us have and need.
Mm-hmm. And so we're still looking for some staff. We're hoping to open by September.
That's my hope.
Yes, so that's kind of our goal right at the moment. Um, Recently, we had some learnings from the Safe Home from prior clients, and so we're planning on starting a new project called the Tiny Homes.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about the
Sure.
tiny homes?
So our safe house is actually very small at the time, and the Tiny Homes Project would allow us to serve more women at a time, especially since we're looking for 10 tiny homes. The idea is to have a central community situation where we have kitchens and meeting rooms and that kind of thing together, but then 10 tiny homes so that the women can have some independence and their own space. This would
Mm-hmm.
also allow for some of the alternative, really best practices therapies that are out there that we're finding with complex PTSD, such as animal therapy, pet therapy, equine therapy, and a number of different levels. So this would allow women to have their own therapy pets,
Yeah,
because they would have their own space to keep them in.
yeah, they can have an emotional support
Right.
animal within their space. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we want to incorporate the animal assisted therapy as well as I understand that there's going to be a garden.
We're looking for a place that has enough space to have an outdoor garden, because just being in the outdoors and like working with your hands in the dirt also
Mm-hmm.
is extremely therapeutic. And then other things, possibly cooking, catering, maybe other things that could come along. So we're looking for space to do some of these different things that will allow them to not only heal but to acquire skills that will help them in the job market.
Yeah. So they stay with you for a year to year and a half in the safe home. Is that going to be the same for the tiny homes?
Very possibly.
Mm-hmm.
It does give us the opportunity though to make that a little bit more, even more independent, and give them a leg up. So if they are able to be independent, they can stick around for a little bit longer and kind of be a graduate school as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I think one of the things that we learned from the current safe home is that um, our women also like their own space,
Yes.
right? And so the tiny homes afford them that as
Right.
well,
Right.
um, because we're talking about adult women that have been on their own, and so then to go into
Exactly.
a space where there's communal living, especially for women, we don't seem to do as well with that.
Right. But we also want to support them with a community,
Mm-hmm.
and learn what Christ teaches about living in community all the way through the Bible. So we want to develop that community sense, and the fact that they need community um, to heal.
Yeah, and I think in this day and age, sometimes the community isn't encouraged as much.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, with the way that we have
We're
social
so
media.
independent that we can live on our own and have community that's not right actually in our physical space. Um, but social media community works very differently than physical community.
Yeah, I don't think it's a replacement at
Not
all.
at all.